Extreme Trees and How They Got That Way by Ellen Lawrence. This book has a table of contents that lets us know that this is a non-fiction text, which means it's informational and it's meant to teach us as opposed to entertaining us. That's extreme. Trees grow in forests, parks, and yards around the world. They all have roots, trunks, branches, and leaves, but they don't all look the same. Some trees are extreme. They might have huge trunks or grow to be super tall. A giant sequoia tree, nicknamed General Sherman, has a trunk that is more than 36 feet or 11 meters wide. That's about the same as 9 children laying head to toe. The General Sherman tree is the heaviest living thing on Earth. Scientists think its enormous trunk and branches weigh 2,000 tons, or 1,814 metric tons, the weight of more than 400 elephants. And as you see in the picture, this is someone looking at the General Sherman tree. And this map shows us that the General Sherman tree lives in California. Giants of the rainforest. Kapok trees are not as thick and heavy as giant sequoias. In rainforests around the world, however, they are the tallest trees. A kapok tree can grow to be 250 feet or 76 meters tall, higher than a 20-story building. It may grow 13 feet or 4 meters in just 1 year. The huge tree may also produce up to 4,000 fruits in a year. This caption here says where kapok trees grow, and it shows you on the map that those red spaces are places where kapok trees grow. There's also some labels on this picture that show you kapok fruits, the fluffy fiber, the dried kapok fruit, and seeds. It says each piece of fruit from a kapok tree has about 200 seeds inside. The seeds are protected by a fluffy, white, cotton-like fiber. People sometimes use the fiber for stuffing pillows and mattresses. Look at the way the bottom part of the tree spreads out. How do you think this might help the tree? And this picture just shows a kapok tree. A rainbow of color. At a height of up to 250 feet or 76 meters, the rainbow gum tree is very tall. That's not the only extreme thing about it, however. This tree also has a rainbow-colored trunk. The bark of the trunk peels off in patches. When a patch of old bark falls off, there is a new green bark underneath. Over time, the green bark changes to a different color, such as red, orange, or purple. It says bark is a tough protective covering that grows on a tree's trunk and branches. It helps keep a tree from being harmed by rain, snow, or hot sun, and from being eaten by animals. Rainbow gum trees grow in many countries around the world. They grow where the weather is warm all year long. Some trees have more than tough bark to protect their trunks from animals. In what other way might a tree protect its trunk? Spiky trunks. Some trees have trunks that are covered with prickles or thorns. Silk floss trees and honey locust trees both have spiky trunks. The sharp spikes stop animals from eating the trees. Honey locust trees have thorns that can grow to be 6 inches or 15 centimeters long. In the past, people used the hard, sharp thorns as nails and needles. And this label just shows the honey locust tree thorns. On the right, we have a picture of a silk floss tree. And then we have a silk floss tree trunk and the label that's showing the different prickles. This map shows that in the red, that's where honey locust trees grow. And in the blue, that's where silk floss trees grow. So some silk floss trees grow in hot, dry places where not much rain falls. When it does rain, the trees can store water in their prickles for dry times. Dripping dragon's blood. Some trees are extreme because of what's inside them. If the trunk of a dragon's blood tree is cut, a thick red liquid oozes out. The sticky liquid isn't really blood, of course. Instead, it is a substance called resin. Many trees leak resin if they are cut or damaged. The resin seals up the damaged wood and keeps insects from getting inside and harming the tree. People use the resin of dragon's blood trees as paint to decorate houses and pottery. People also use it on cuts and scratches on their skin to stop infections. This on the right is a picture of a dragon's blood tree, and the map says dragon's blood trees grow on an island in the Indian Ocean called Socotra. Danger, deadly poison. The bottle tree is extreme because it is very poisonous. Where is its deadly poison found? It's in the sap. This liquid carries food and water through the tree. In the past, hunters used bottle tree sap to poison the tips of their arrows. This map shows that the red spots are where bottle trees grow. It says bottle trees grow in dry deserts. When it rains, a bottle tree stores a huge amount of water in its trunk. This makes the tree's trunk swell up into a bulging bottle-like shape. The bottle tree gets its name from its strange shape. Try making up a new name that describes the tree. Spreading banyan trees. Most trees have roots that grow down from their trunks and into the ground. A banyan tree, however, sprouts roots from its branches. The roots grow down through the air and into the soil. As the years pass, they become thick and woody. The roots make the tree look as if it has lots of trunks. The world's largest banyan tree grows in India. By growing branches from its roots, it has spread over an area that's nearly as big as 3 football fields. The giant tree looks like a forest. And on this picture of the banyan tree, you see labels that point to a branch and that show roots growing down from the branches. This map in the top right shows you where banyan trees grow. A prehistoric tree. The Wollemi pine tree is not huge, spiky, or poisonous, but it is very special. This kind of tree was living on Earth at the time of the dinosaurs. For a long time, though, scientists thought the trees were extinct, just like the dinosaurs. They believed that only fossils of the trees remained. Then, in 1994, some Wollemi pines were found growing in a forest in Australia. It was an amazing discovery, almost like finding some dinosaurs hidden away in the forest. It says scientists have found a fossil that shows ancestors of today's Wollemi pines existed about 90 million years ago. And this map shows where in Australia the Wollemi pines were found in 1994. The chapel oak. Oak trees are large trees with thick trunks and branches. In France, there is an oak tree that's big enough to contain two small chapels. One of these tiny churches is at the bottom of the tree's trunk. The other is higher up and can be reached by a staircase. The chapels were built in 1696 and people still visit them today. The oak tree is named the chapel oak. It is between 800 and 1,000 years old. This map shows where in France the chapel oak grows. And here on the right, we see an entrance to the chapel oak. Science lab. It says, be a tree detective. When you are in your backyard, on the street, or in a park or forest, search for trees and things that come from trees. See how many of the things on this page you can find. Bring a notebook and a pencil or a camera with you. Draw or photograph what you find. So we have a cone from a tree with an unusual shape, a very tall tree, acorns from an oak tree, a tree with a thick trunk, a tree with patterned or colorful bark, and a leaf with an unusual shape, color, or pattern. Science words. Here are a few terms in the glossary of this book. Ancestors. People, animals, or plants that lived a long time ago but have relatives alive today. Extinct. When a kind of plant or animal has died out and there are no more of its kind anywhere on Earth. Fossils. What is left of plants or animals that lived long ago. Rainforests. Places where many trees and other plants grow and lots of rain falls. Resin. A thick, sticky liquid inside the trunk and branches of some trees that seals up the bark if it gets damaged. And sap, a liquid that flows through a plant and carries water and food for the plants.